Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pronago, and this is a Cosmonarchy cast 1v1 between two guys who are pretty new to the project overall. We've got Lordragon in the bottom right as the, I'm going to say Palatinate Purple, but it was Cordovan Terran, a dark color there. MuskyHusky in the top right is the Zafir. No, it's Ultramarine. It's never Zafir. Ultramarine Zerg. And this is a game that I was told I should cast between these two players, and I suppose there's no better time than to mention right here, right now, that we are looking for those interested in financially supporting Cosmonarchy to check out streamlabs.com/pronago, where you can donate towards a noob tournament. This newbie tournament will be held on the 20th of January, which is a Tuesday, which is a weird day to hold the tournament, I know, but that's the best day to do it, and it'll be for noobs. And Lordragon and MuskyHusky, I believe, do qualify, although we will confirm that today when watching them. So maybe you'll see them in the tournament as well. But if you want to help pay for the time that it takes to run such an event, you can do it at the Streamlabs link I mentioned, streamlabs.com/pronago, and we will see you there. Lordragon going to be going for a double Fulcrum. Whoa! And it's going to be a pool into Larvosk for MuskyHusky. Overall, not really the biggest surprise from the build orders, except for the fact that this second Fulcrum before the first is done is not super common. But we'll see what Lordragon has in store for us, you know what I mean? APMs are glorious double digits. I'm kind of impressed that Musky has less APM than Lordragon. But hey, it's spiked up. Holy moly. Hope you guys are having a good day today. It's been an interesting set of games that I've casted in my current casting session here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes after all of after everything is said and done, what the games actually look like. But yeah, typically I'll be casting these live on stream, twitch.tv/pronago, or of course this very YouTube channel, and it's a good way to see what's going on before the videos actually get cut up and put up as VODs. Plus, you get to ask me questions, you get to balance one in the chat, you get to do all kinds of things, so it's a good way to do it. Lordragon going to go ahead and set up some mines here. Tries to get one up on the ramp. Actually will be successful. Oh, he's held off at the pass. And gets a little bit of a slow off onto those Drolets, so a little bit of economic impact. But honestly, not a terrible Vulture little sortie there. Question is, was he doing anything behind it? And I don't know. I don't know if he was. I don't see a whole lot of money, but I mean, he did queue up 2 Masons and 2 Cyclops in each Fulcrum, so maybe that's where the money went, you know what I mean? Alexander in the chat saying this should be something special. Indeed. Indeed it should be. So, Zathrakors are leaving the building. Husky going for his Hydrith Den. And it looks like we will see a decent amount of production come out from him. He's going to get his 3rd Larvosk. A little bit risky to do that versus Terran if they drop you. Cyclops can just pop the Larvosks pretty quickly. I mean, they're just sitting duck targets for almost everything. And look at that. We'll have Lordragon adding a star pad here. Triple Fulk. I mean, there's no expansion timing for Lordragon coming up unless he cuts production for a little bit, which he can do. A little bit riskier to do as Terran, but Protosses have shown that through the art of the 3-gate open versus 3-gate open versus Zerg. I was thinking of like Oya versus Ziki, for example. And they can just make 3 gateways and then for a little bit not bother doing anything. And then ta-da, they're good to go. They've got their Nexus and then they resume military production after that. The one Cyclops walk around does show that there's no expansion just yet. I love the little mine setups here. Obviously, easier to do when your opponent isn't getting in your face, but something that wouldn't be too bad to try and bandy about later on. You got some Cyclops marching up as well. Other mines not quite as impactful and successful. But still, getting a little bit of extra damage dealt is always good. Cyclops are a unit that can really fall flat when you're playing as a player with poor control, but Lordragon's doing all right here. And Musky, he's refusing to engage. The Azure Core should just get in the face. This indecision is costing him a lot of HP. And that's what I was expecting, honestly, is that the micro fight would happen and then he'd get up to like 800 minerals immediately. Now, we do have Hatchet. You know, the Hatch will be fine. It shouldn't die here. There's a lot of claws coming out to save it. We'll see what Husky can do to get himself out of this position. Right now, he's not quite battling through the fire and the flames. He's just succumbing to them. Using the pursuant ability of the Quas to pressure forward, and only one Cyclops stays alive. The Ministry on location. Both players idle in their production for now, but there are some Hydras out, so that Cyclops will be routed, indeed. More Cyclops where that came from, but not as many more as Lordragon could have. If he had spent all of his money earlier on, he would have been in a pretty good spot. He made the star pad and forgot about it. Only harvesting gas with 3 workers. The second worker on the ridge is not there, and that might be costing him a decent amount. Ooh. Well, honestly, this many Cyclops can and will kill the hatch if given the opportunity. Let's see what Musky can do to defend that, because right now he's not really doing anything to defend it. It will just go down. That's it. He has to evacuate the workers now. Made a lot of I-0 cores to try to get in the face. I think Zets are a great choice if you can actually get them in there. Vorvs are better, but we don't have any upgraded nodes. Lordragon with 1,000 minerals in the bank. He's not going to be able to kill his opponent with this attack alone, so he is going to need to spend that money. A little bit of friendly fire here, but he does thin out the herd. Those 3 I-0 cores could have helped. Could have been useful. And no re-expansion there for the Zerg player just yet. Man, he's got so many minerals, but not really spending them. Not too fond of that just yet. He likes clicking the buttons. He likes making the units move. It's very fun to make the units move in Cosmonarchy, but you do have to also make more units. And there you go. Did he just max out the queues? Yeah, he did. Just about. Still nothing from the star pad. Harvesting some Vespine from the natural. Yeah. We're down with no real tech here. So it's just a lot of I-0 core, Zethra core on the way. The Hydras are trying to pressure, but Husky hasn't yet figured out the micro versus the Cyclops. And Hydras are microable versus them, but you really got to watch out there. Oh, dear. The fadeaway shots are really brutal. Ooh. Yeah, a lot of these units are going to end up going down pretty soon. Just a matter of time. Now, it's not that many Cyclops left, so there at least is a little bit of glimmer of hope for Musky here. He's got 12 more I-0 cores coming, which is great, if he can get them into the right spot. And honestly, the Cyclops production has fallen off a little bit here, because, you know, he queued up all those Cyclops, but he still only has 3 folk. Zerg has not really been thwarted in terms of its, let's just say its ability to produce a lot of units. Yeah, the hatch went down. That was it. This is a matter of survival. Husky did not make a single Droleth during this time, I don't think. And now he's upgrading his den. That's what I was looking for. Does he recognize Bactylisks are pretty good versus the Cyclops comp? I mean, it's not really much of a comp when it's just 1 unit. Adding a 4th Fulcrum to expand that production. Lordragon is going to go ahead and repost that attack from the I-0 core, the scouting attempt. But the Zeth actually slips the net. If it gets down here to 4 o'clock, it can try to heckle that Mason pretty easily. It's only 1. It's only 1, Husky. You can take it. You can take it. Yeah, yeah. Delicious. Now, the Trojan is leaving with the 4 Cyclops drop. He's going to have to respond to that. He sends a pair of Cyclops down, but doesn't actually keep attacking it. Uh-oh. Well, this is an awkward fight for the Zerg to take. He doesn't have his Bactyls out yet. That Trojan hasn't been sent in just yet. And down will go all of those Cyclops. We don't have any defenses over here. So the Cyclops and the Trojan should be able to get something done here. Still no reaction, by the way. That Ministry could easily get canceled. Let's see. The Quas start scrambling over. The Droleth's evacuating. Only 4 of them going down so far. But no more military units are being made. So Husky's in a position where he's moving all the way across the map. He will finish off that base. I-0 core is actually causing a bit of a threat over here. If they had been microed right into the face of those Cyclops, they would have dealt more damage. But as of right now, it looks like that Skiback Scab is not likely to go on living. And not a single Bactylisk has been made. So this 4 Cyclops drop did a lot more damage than it really had any right to. Still, Husky has a chance to maybe push up, but not with this many Cyclops on the ramp. I don't think he's going to be able to do much other than a little bit of economic damage, perhaps. Lordragon not bothering to micro the Trojan. He lifts the Ministry immediately. That's more damage than I actually thought Husky would get in this situation. A little bit of a paintbrush of damage from the Cyclops, and Lordragon falls back. He's adding a treasury. Not quite sure what for. Hey, the Trojan still's got a lot of HP, but it doesn't look like Lordragon cares much about it. Back to harvesting Vespene here for Husky. Albeit not with all of the workers that he would want. Yeah, there you go. I don't quite know how this Trojan is still alive, to be honest. But it is still alive. It's even over a spot you can't bother killing it at. Cyclops pushing in. Looking a little dire here, I won't lie to you. I don't think Husky can actually get out versus this many Cyclops with the comp he's got. Losing out on the ability to make Bactyls really hurt him there earlier. The Cyclops leaving behind their delayed damage field that pops afterwards and deals splash. It's so hard when you don't get right on top of them and make them take some of their own damage. And when they get on top of the hatch like this, they can do some damage to the workers. They kill the eggs. Really, really awkward. Now, getting right on top like this, beautiful. This is exactly what Husky needs to do. And Lordragon was busy doing something else in the process, so he does end up failing the stutter step back, and that will be the end of his initial push. By the way, he's got 2 more Trojans full of Cyclops, and he's making a bunch more, but he has that Ministry still floated. He put the Treasury there instead, and his worker count is pretty dismal. Looks like this Trojan ended up, sending in a couple of Cyclops, and this is actually going to get his opponent on standby to accept more drops. I don't know if that was the greatest choice. Maybe he can try to convince him that a lot more Cyclops are coming up the front. I don't know that that's actually going to quite work out. He's got these 2 Trojans waiting to send in, but there's so many units waiting to accept them, and they're not going to deal nearly as much damage as the first drop did. Yeah, in fact, he's actually aware of that. He should have sent this one in earlier anyway on a scout, but kind of tips his hand there, I think. Hydra IZ army may be able to push into the natural here of Lordragon. He's got some more Cyclops that just came out, but yeah, I don't think this army alone is going to be able to do it. Drop actually hits the natural. Looks like most of the Drollet's already evacuated. Yeah, they pulled away from the natural entirely. And the Iziricors did force a stutter step backwards, so they got some damage dealt. That hatch is very low. Yeah, I think that hatch is going down. Hey, some of the Drollet's coming in off the rally. Uh-oh. Hold on. You're not out of the woods yet, Husky. What are you doing? He's trying to save the hatch desperately. He'll do it at the cost of the Drolleth if he has to, and it looks like Lordragon will allow it to stay alive. That is not what I thought would happen. Wow. 26 points of health. He's got more Cyclops coming. No static defense here. No circuits or anything. Army whittled down to almost nothing. Units inside the main base not being used. And after that heroic defense, the hatch will just be targeted down surely. It'll die to the egg shots. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, an Iziricor does finish. Trojan scoops up a couple Cyclops. Can be lifted inside the main base once the Zerg army breaks out. He just ends up unloading him. Yeah, he knows he needs him in the fight. That Trojan will still stay alive, however. No, never mind. It does die. Single Hydra coming in out of nowhere. It is because it spawned out of this hatch, which maybe will tip Lordragon off, but he's got 3k minerals. I think he's got bigger problems right now. Needs to add more Fulcrums, and he's just gobbling up all of his Vespene. He still never added a third Ridge Miner, or a fourth Gas Miner, second Ridge Miner. And it hasn't been harvesting from this ridge for a long time. This Trojan's empty, but it'll at least draw up some of the units. I like Lordragon's attempts. I actually think, if he were to participate in a newbie tournament, he would probably pick up a few wins. I'm going to be honest. But I would expect Jimmy to beat him. How do we handle that, guys? Well, 4 Cyclops. No, just 2 Cyclops coming in. No defenders except for this one Hydra. Not ideal. Man, Husky must be very tired of seeing the Cyclops. But at this point, he's got Bactyls. So, in a way, he should be happy to see Cyclops because the Bactylisk is going to deal with it. He doesn't even have to show the Bactyls there, actually. That's pretty good. Can let Lordragon exist in the ignorance of his capacity. Well, now the Trojan scouts it out, but... Yeah, if Lordragon actually capped his Ridge, I think he'd be in a better spot, but... I don't know, man. Right now, I think we're pretty happy to see where it goes from here. What do you guys reckon? I reckon both these players are probably in the Class 4 category, and we should rejoice when we get more Class 4s active, to be honest. I think we need more players that are just at the lower end of the ladder. Another attempt at the Cyclops drop. The workers just never bothered going back. The workers just decided, nah, it's fine. Ski back will go down. Ay. It's a very slow way to finish this off, but I think we're approaching the end. Unless this army... I mean, there's not that many Bactyls here. The Cyclops could maybe punch through everything and just chase him down. They're all clumped up. Surely Husky knows that he's not supposed to clump them up like that. Oh, man, the Iserocors are getting some serious salvos, though. It might not matter, guys. It might not matter. Yeah, there goes all the front line. That's kind of expected there. And now the Bactyls are falling back. I think they need to start taking some retreating shots or they will just be killed. It kind of depends on Lordragon's micro, I guess. Yeah, he's getting right in their faces. And that's what I was thinking. Oh, baby! Yeah, he's self-owning here by chasing into his own explosions. Drakidons are like that. We saw that Newt versus Aeud game. Same concept applies. Bactyls obviously having more range than the Drak, but comparable enough. Some Zethicors just kind of running around and causing more splash damage to be dealt. Alright, back to mining inside his main base. Needs to get back to mining the gas in particular. I say that, though. He's got a lot of idle workers over here at the 11 o'clock. Oh, lobotomy mines! Like a suicide mission to mine everything up. Hold on! Lordragon is just pressed across the map. He might have had a killer move here. It turns out one was not enough. You needed to have a couple extra units there, like the vultures. Wait, hold on. Maybe you shouldn't have. Oh, dear. Everything's right on top of you. Oh, God. It's just too much. Brutal. Now, with that said, we've only got Cyclops coming. We have only got more Cyclops coming. He has slowly added more Fulcrums as he can afford them, but he finished this base, or landed that base, I guess, and then just never really sent any workers there to it. Mining is okay here. Husky taking a 4th. He was going to upgrade his pond, but decided against it. Instead, going for the ski back again. What's he saving the money for? All right. 6 Cyclops are going to come in here pretty soon. There's Spraiths everywhere to hunt down the Trojans. But they spread the damage out, so they didn't actually stop any unloading from happening. And now the army needs to cycle up there. Not everything, crucially, which is good. Husky getting those instincts in. Trying to cancel out the ski back. Bactyls were ruining the Cyclops earlier, so it's a smart target, but not sufficient damage. Gets 2 military unit kills, 1 worker kill. Denies some mining time, and that is about it. Doesn't even stop the gas harvesting. And Iris on the way. Now we got some saturation happening at the 4 o'clock for our Terran player. He thought about making 10 o'clock. He decided against it, I guess. Oh, there it is. But then he ordered an Escagant, so now he can't. And then he forgot. Happens every time. he's got a lot of Cyclops still. That much is certainly true, but Vorvs are out now in good numbers, and I think that's a good night. Tier 2 will finish pretty soon here for the Zerg player, and I just don't think you can do much from this spot. That being, I guess the Terran is getting more Vespene income now, but not for long, as we can see. Oh boy, it has been a very interesting set of games. I think that much is for sure. But this one was this one was silly. Lordragon trying to monocomp with only Cyclops, did his best. This looks a lot closer than the match he played against 3 Crow, to be fair. Wait, the Ministry is still alive. Perhaps it can be repaired, and then we can harvest here. That was a pretty cute idea, to be honest. It resulted in the death of his Ministry, but I liked the idea. Atris done over here at 10 o'clock. Just making him a Travel Nest, more Bactyls, more Hydras. Knocked out the 3rd base before it could really give too much over to Lordragon. All these minerals, and no Hurricanes, no Scrapyard for Blackjacks, no nothing. No sieves, no ridge cap, no ridge mining, basically. He's mining with 1 out of 4 optimal workers on the ridges. Cyclops splash damage kills some of the Drolats coming in, which is pretty funny. But the Bactyls are able to run roughshod over this army. He's still making it look somewhat good, which is amazing, honestly. It's a bold choice to burrow, but that's okay. He did it. He cleared it. The Cyclops menace is still going strong with 32 Cyclopses and counting. And he will be going for another drop. There's still no anti-surface defenses over here, which is amazing to me. The nest is done, but I don't see any units that correspond to it just yet. I'll be sure to call those out as time goes on. Trying to also make a committed effort to call out like behaviors and abilities and stuff where possible, where it makes sense, and help educate people who don't play as much or know as much about the project. But if anybody has questions, I can answer them in comments, of course. If I missed some unit that I didn't mention some unit that you saw. Spawn camping some of the tier 2 units is pretty rough there. Those are expensive. And we got a lot more Cyclops where that came from. How is this game still going, you may ask? And I don't exactly have an answer for you, but down will go this attempted drop. I think it definitely paid for itself. Scouted out another base in the process. It's just the problem is Lordragon never really... He didn't keep making Masons, right? And his main is depleted. His natural is barely saturated. He could pull workers there if he really needed to, and he does need to. Oh, the Convolusks are out. So these guys have a multi-attack, and their victims spawn brood spawn, which of course your Cyclops are going to start attacking and deal damage to yourself, and that fight wasn't even close. That shows you the power of the tier 2 Zerg for sure. The Vilgs didn't even need to get in action. But when they take damage, they release a mini Dark Swarm called Carapace Swarm in Cosmonarchy that absorbs some damage versus non-splash attacks. We've got some Goliaths coming out. I don't think that's going to help you out, buddy. But it would have been a good mineral dump earlier on, perhaps. At this point, it's probably a wrap. He'll unload his last Cyclops. He'll make his final stand versus the Zerg Menace. And the Zerg doesn't have that much over here. You can see that the Vilgoricors take a very long time to die. And when they do die, they turn into Vilgaleths that convert nearby corpses into more brood spawn, which is just a nightmare for the Cyclops. And that's it. GG. Lordragon has been bested. A certified classic, a banger of a game. and Lordragon even says thanks and asks for one more. They just keep playing. They can't stop playing. Husky's happy to say yes, sure, with a couple of dots. We'll just speed through. We'll get to the end of the replay. Mega stressful. All right. They scheduled their next play date. It's all good. But GG, Husky takes the game. And I mean, I just kind of assumed that Husky would be the more experienced player based on what I had seen. So that's why I sorted him as the favorite. But what a game. 27 minutes of madness in that particular match. Non-stop Cyclops aggression. GG's to all.